Okay guys, welcome to Rainbow Six Extraction. Alright, now once you first begin the game, you have to go through the VR training and they'll give you a summary as to what needs to be done in order to complete your objectives. And once you're done with all of that, you'll be placed into the main hub where you'll see the play, the operatives, the progression, tech, codex, and the shop area. I'm also, right now, I'm in the codex section here, and this is on the latest tab. And when you go down the list right here, it will show you the objectives. There are 10 of those. You have hunt, you have insertion, you have MIA rescue, you also have rescue, you have sabotage, you have containment protocols, no one left behind, serial scan, decontamination, and nests. Now some of these are self-explanatory, right? Now this one here, you'll have hunt. Hunt is which you go down and you eliminate a certain target. When you take down the target, you will complete your objective at that point. When you go into a mission though, you'll have 3 objectives. Sometimes you'll have a mission where you'll have to do a rescue. There'll be another one in which you have to mess with nests. You have another one in which you have to do serial scans. And you have other ones in which you have to do a sabotage. Now, what I like about the game so far is that when you look at these objectives, it will tell you on the right side as to how to approach them and how to do them in case you're confused. When you go at insertion right here, it will say all operators must be medically cleared for deployment and have undergone precursion briefing. The React insertion point will release cloud of biological inert nanoparticular prior to operators insertion. Landing zone should be clear for Archaeans. Now when you're using these insertions though, it's like you want to get as much data as you possibly can. You could extract early, but what you can also do is when you are further into the mission, you could do 2 objectives, and you at max when you do 3, you extract, you get your points as far as rainbow credits. That's what the whole insertion thing when you drop down. Now I'm going to be talking about MIA rescue now. Should in case your operator gets downed, knocked out, he will get covered into this biological cloud or some kind of pus or gust, whatever you want to call it, right? At some point, you'll be able to go and rescue your operator. Now, when you rescue your operator, he'll be in this little tree, as you see in the diagram to the right side. They will be controlled by four points, 4 arms. You have to shoot a glowing orb, as you see right there, and it will go towards a certain point. You have to shoot those. And it's like it says, it's like a tug of war. You're trying to pull your operator, and at the same time, the parasite Archaean is trying to keep it in. So the more points you take off, the weaker it gets. And by the time you take off 4 or 5 of those, you're able to take your operator and you're able to go to the extraction zone. Once you rescue your operator, you immediately have to go to the extraction zone. That's just what it is. Now, when it comes to rescue now, rescue is completely different from MIA rescue. Let's say I'm down in the field and the mission is still progressing. You killed all the enemies or killed most of them. What you can do is you could pick up a player, carry them, bring them into the pod, which is this. The pod will open up, you put your operator, your fallen teammate in there, and they will be secured. It will be fine. So that's practically rescue right there as far as with an objective. Also, when it comes to a rescue objective, there could also be a person that you have to rescue. So it's not only just your own operator or someone else's operator. There could be someone in the field that you have to rescue as part of the mission, as part of the objective. So you have that going for you. Now, you have sabotage. Sabotage is practically simple, straightforward. It's kind of like defense. You technically sabotage in 2 points, and you have to defend those points. The enemy will come and try to mess it up, do whatever they got to do to mess it up. Once you complete that, you're good. Now, Containment Protocol. This prevent further containment of the environment and spread of organism. Provides secure facilities and SITU study for XO. Install equipment and infrastructure to permit incursion. All right. Prepare for end state area neutralization if necessary. All right. So that's the React Organization Containment Protocol. Now this one here, no one is left behind. Technically, it's like the same boat as Rescue, but with no one left behind. It's just like what I said earlier when it comes to your operator being down. You will be in a situation, and it happened to me last night when I was streaming. You could have 2 of your guys down, and you're the only one alive. You could only take 1 guy with you. You cannot carry both. So once you put 1 guy in there, that's practically it. It's not like you could take 1 guy, put it in there, and take another guy, put him in there, and then that's it. You only could take 1 guy, put him in there, and then that's that. All right, but that's technically no one left behind. You have serial scan. Serial scan is practically simple. You will see it in the map where you look on the floor. You'll see 4 squares. All teammates have to be in that specific zone, and you'll see a camera with all of its lights scanning the place. Now, as you're scanning, parasites, all kind of things will start to come and try to disrupt you, trying to kill you. Once you complete 3 of those zones, you're good. There's only 3. So you don't have to be all stressful as far as, man, I gotta take out 4 or 5 of those. It's only 3. Decontamination though. You see a pod, you're gonna want to either stab it or you want to collect data from it. That's decontamination. You could have a situation where it's also with nests. You can stab them or you could collect intel from them. It depends on what you plan to do with it, but it will tell you within the objective screen where you have to take out this many. It could be 15, or when you see the nests, you could shoot them, or you can get that data from them. So just by these objectives that they have in the game, I like the mix, I like the blend of it, because it keeps you on your toes. It's not like, oh, just kill the enemy or do this to the enemy. Sometimes you don't even have to mess with the enemy. You could sneak right by them. You just have to remember the route that you take. And as far as with being out on the field, you're gonna want to be with your squad mates as much as possible. Now, depending on if you played Siege or any other Tom Clancy and you know what you're doing, oh, I could go solo. These enemies will flat out rock you, especially the bloater ones, which will explode on you. Even if you're at a good amount of range from them, they will still explode on you. All right, and they will do the same amount of damage as if you were close to them. So you have to be careful. And plus, when you are down, if they don't come and revive you, that little mist, that gust that will engulf your character, that's the React's way of protecting you. But in the same boat, if no one comes to take your body and put it in that insertion pod, guess what happens? They end up capturing you, putting you into that tree, and then at some point when the mission does come up, you have to rescue your operator. Now, the one thing that they have not said in this is what happens if your character is injured, or what does happen if you fail your MIA rescue attempt. Do you lose your operator? They've never talked about that. So I don't want to be in that situation. Maybe someone knows about that I'm not aware of, but as I'm speaking now in this, I don't know. Every time I've gone in there to save either my operator or someone else's, we've succeeded. So that's practically the gist of it when it comes to the objectives side of things. You could scroll through and look at all the other ones as well, but as far as the react, the operators, it just tells you the history of the operators. The react as well, you're gonna have to go through certain things in order to unlock the others. As you can see, there's protocols in it as well. See, the protocols and the objectives are tied into each other, right? You have the Chimera ecosystem. If you want to learn more about them, you just have to keep unlocking things to learn more and more about them as you play the game. And you have the Chimera threat. It's the same thing. You have to unlock things as you play the game. So that's practically it as far as with the objective side. Let me know if you like this game or not. I'm liking it so far, and I'm gonna continue to keep playing this, man.